Welcome to Books in 10. Remember, we're raffling an iPhone when we reach 10,000 subscribers. Like, subscribe. Today we're diving deep into On the Improvement of the Understanding by Baruch Spinoza.
Talk about a title that gets straight to the point.
Right.
Yeah.
It was all about, developing rational thought
Yeah,
to understand the world and to pursue truth.
absolutely.
And guess what?
What?
He says true happiness, it isn't about riches, fame, or indulging in pleasure. Those are actually roadblocks.
It's so true.
Intrigued yet?
Well, and what's fascinating is that Spinoza, he himself started out chasing those very things.
Oh, wow.
He realized they weren't really fulfilling. So he set off on this quest for something more.
Oh, interesting.
You know, he was like a doctor trying to cure a life-threatening disease.
Wow.
That's how seriously he took this search for true happiness.
So he wasn't saying those things are bad.
Right.
More like they're just not the end goal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Spinoza believed that those pursuits, they can be useful, but only as tools to achieve something greater.
Gotcha.
He flips the script on what we usually consider good and evil.
Yeah.
You know, for Spinoza, these aren't they aren't absolutes.
Okay.
Everything operates according to the laws of nature. So nothing is inherently perfect or imperfect. It all just is.
Okay, so that's a pretty radical idea. So what is the ultimate goal? The highest good, as he calls it.
Yeah, so for Spinoza, the highest good is knowledge.
Okay.
Knowledge of the union between our minds and the whole of nature.
Wow.
It's this deep understanding of our place in the universe, seeing how everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
And this, he believed, leads to true, lasting happiness. Continuous joy, he says, in the absence of sadness.
Sounds pretty good.
Right.
Sign me up. But how do we even, begin to grasp this union with nature? Our minds are kind of messy.
Well, he recognized that.
Yeah.
Spinoza outlines 4 ways we perceive the world.
Okay, 4 ways.
Starting with hearsay,
Okay.
basically taking someone's word for it
Right.
without really understanding why.
Yeah.
Like believing in Santa Claus because your parents said so.
Okay.
It's unreliable just based on what others tell us.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the next level up?
It's mere experience,
Your experience.
learning through trial and error.
Okay.
Spinoza says this is limited because it's based solely on our own experiences without a deeper understanding of the underlying causes.
Okay.
For example, we know people die because we've seen it happen,
Right.
but we don't necessarily grasp the complex biological processes involved.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's knowledge gained from observation, but maybe missing the bigger picture.
precisely.
Okay.
Then we have inference from effects,
Okay.
figuring out the cause based on what we observe,
Gotcha.
like seeing smoke
Yeah.
and inferring there's a fire.
Right.
It's a step up, but still relies heavily on our senses, which can sometimes deceive us.
I'm sensing a pattern here. Each level gets us closer to true understanding.
Yeah.
So what's the 4th most reliable way?
Spinoza calls it perception through a thing's essence.
Okay.
This is about understanding the fundamental nature of something, not just its outward appearance or how it affects us.
Right.
It's like knowing that 2 + 3 = 5.
Yeah.
Not just because you've memorized it, but because you grasp the very concepts of 2, 3, addition, and 5.
So it's not just knowing the answer.
Right.
It's understanding the underlying principles
Yeah.
that make it true.
Yeah.
Deep stuff.
And to reach that level,
Okay.
Spinoza believed we need to train our minds. He compares it to tool making.
Okay.
You know, we start with simple tools
Yeah.
and gradually create more complex ones
Right.
to achieve more sophisticated results.
So we need to develop those mental tools to refine our understanding. I like that analogy. What kind of tools are we talking about?
Spinoza argues that it starts with recognizing the distinction between an idea
Okay.
and the thing it represents.
Okay.
For example, the name Peter. It's just a word, but it points to an actual person.
Yeah.
We can even have an idea about the idea of Peter.
Whoa, that's pretty meta.
Yeah.
But if our minds are capable of this, why do we often make mistakes? What gets in the way of clear thinking?
Well, Spinoza identified several obstacles.
Okay.
One is our imagination.
Hmm.
We sometimes mistake what we imagine for true understanding.
Right.
Language can also be a trap.
Okay.
Words are imprecise.
Yeah.
and based on popular understanding,
Yeah.
which isn't always accurate.
So we need to be careful about getting caught up in like words and mental images without really grasping the essence of what we're thinking about.
Exactly.
Right.
And he warns about the dangers of abstract concepts.
Hmm.
It's easy to get lost in abstractions
Yeah.
and lose sight of the real world. It's like talking about trees in general. Yeah.
Without ever closely examining a specific tree.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do we overcome these obstacles? What's the path to clarity?
That's where things get really interesting. Spinoza believed that to achieve true understanding, we need to start with, well, clear definitions.
Okay.
We need to understand the essence of things.
Right.
Not just rely on, fuzzy, vague notions.
Yeah.
It's like making sure we're all speaking the same language.
Right.
Mentally speaking.
Right. So if our definitions are shaky,
Yeah.
our whole thought process is going to be shaky too.
Exactly.
Makes sense. What else?
He also emphasizes focusing on understanding particular things.
Okay.
Not just abstract universals.
Right.
It's about, staying grounded in the real world.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about trees in general,
Yeah.
actually go look at a specific tree.
Right.
Study its leaves,
Yeah.
its bark, its roots, get
Yeah.
up close and personal
I love that. It's about connecting the abstract.
to the tangible,
Yeah.
really experiencing what we're trying to understand.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
finally, Spinoza argues that we need to ground our ideas in the physical world
Okay.
and proceed according to the chain of causes.
Hmm.
It's like being a detective following a trail of clues.
Right.
You start with the evidence
Okay.
and follow the logic
Yeah.
to arrive at the truth.
So it's about understanding how things are interconnected.
Yeah.
How one thing leads to another.
Right.
Cause and effect.
Precisely.
Okay.
Spinoza believed that by following these steps,
Yeah.
we can develop a more rational and insightful mind.
Okay.
It's a process,
Yeah.
a journey of continuous improvement.
This is making me think about how much our thinking is influenced by stuff outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we hear from others
Right.
or just our own limited experiences.
Yeah.
Is there a way to tap into a deeper understanding?
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
Something more innate. And it gets to the heart of Spinoza's idea of true ideas.
Okay.
He believed that the mind has an innate ability to form these true ideas,
Right.
which are clear, distinct,
Huh?
and correspond to the true nature of things.
So it's like our minds have the potential to grasp reality
Yes.
directly
Yeah.
without all the distortion and baggage
Yeah.
we accumulate from external sources.
Exactly. But here's where it gets even more mind-blowing.
Okay.
Spinoza believed that the mind,
Yeah.
when properly directed,
Okay.
can act like an immaterial automaton.
Okay, you've lost me.
Yeah.
An immaterial automaton.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
He's saying that our minds can operate according to fixed laws, just like the laws of physics
Okay.
govern the material world.
Right.
By understanding these laws of thought,
Yeah.
we can achieve a level of clarity and precision
Okay.
that might seem almost superhuman.
Wow, that's a powerful image. It's like our minds become these incredible instruments for understanding the universe.
Exactly.
But if we have this potential, why do we so often fall short? Why do, emotions and biases cloud our judgment?
Well, Spinoza acknowledges that our passions can often lead us astray.
Yeah.
We get attached to certain ideas or
Right.
beliefs,
Yeah.
even when they don't align with reality.
Yeah.
It's like we're wearing mental blinders,
Okay.
filtering out anything that challenges our worldview.
And that attachment causes suffering.
Right.
Because we're clinging to like a distorted view of reality.
Exactly. To break free from those mental traps,
Okay.
Spinoza says we need to cultivate adequate ideas. These are ideas that are clear, distinct,
Okay.
and correspond to the true nature of things.
Right.
It's about aligning our thinking with reality,
Right.
seeing things as they truly are.
So it's about letting go of our preconceived notions and being open to seeing the world with fresh eyes.
Exactly.
But how do we actually do that? What are the practical steps?
Well, he says it's an ongoing process.
Okay.
He stresses the importance of constantly refining our understanding,
Right.
kind of like polishing a lens
Okay.
to get a clearer view.
Yeah.
And he gives us some concrete steps to
Right.
take on that journey.
Okay. I'm all ears. Give me the Spinoza approved plan
Sure.
for mental clarity.
He says we need to start by examining our beliefs
Okay.
and asking ourselves,
Yeah.
are these ideas really clear and distinct?
Right.
Do they correspond to what I observe in the world?
Okay.
If not, we need to be willing to let them go.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Even if they're, comfortable or familiar.
That's easier said than done.
I know.
We humans, we get pre-attached to our beliefs.
We knew that.
Yeah.
But Spinoza argues that true freedom comes from aligning our thinking with reality.
Right.
Not from clinging to our own limited perspectives.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers.
Right.
And being open to learning and growing.
So it's a humbling process.
It is.
This pursuit of truth.
Yeah.
It requires like a willingness to admit
Yeah.
when we're wrong
Right.
and to constantly like challenge our own assumptions.
Exactly. And it's not just about avoiding errors. Spinoza believed that the more we understand the natural world, the better we understand our own minds. It's like the more we learn about the universe outside us,
Right.
the more we can see the reflection of that universe within our own thinking.
That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
That we're not separate from nature.
Right.
We're a part of this grand
Yeah.
interconnected web.
Yeah.
It makes the pursuit of knowledge feel even more meaningful.
It really does. And Spinoza believed this journey of self-discovery is a lifelong endeavor. There's always more to learn.
Right.
More to understand and more to refine in our thinking.
Right.
But the rewards are immense.
Okay.
He believed that this pursuit of truth
Yeah.
leads to a kind of deep, lasting happiness that can't be found in any external pursuit.
So it's about understanding ourselves
Yeah.
as part of something bigger.
Right.
Constantly striving for clarity
Yeah.
and ultimately finding true fulfillment
Yes.
in the pursuit of knowledge itself.
Beautifully put. And remember, this is just a glimpse into Spinoza's profound and challenging ideas.
Right.
There's so much more to explore on the improvement of the understanding.
Well, folks, there you have it. Our deep dive into Spinoza's path to mental clarity has come to an end.
It has.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling inspired
Good.
to examine my own thinking a little more closely.
That's great.
And remember,
Yeah.
as Spinoza would say, true knowledge is not just about accumulating facts,
Right.
but about understanding the underlying principles that connect everything in the universe.
Absolutely.
Remember, we're raffling an iPhone when we reach 10,000 subscribers. Like, subscribe, and take a step towards deeper understanding with us.
Good idea.
Read the book,